EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live first-round coverage of the Mid-Season Classic. Hello again and welcome. Rich Lerner alongside my colleague Frank Nobilo here today calling the action from the cliffs at Lighthouse Point. And Frank, this course features some breathtaking scenery.
It certainly does, Rich. Changes of elevation, and it's in phenomenal shape. We've got to send our thanks out to the superintendent, Peyton Duncan, who's got the course exactly primed. You should enjoy it. You should enjoy the views. Take your camera as well. This is very scenic up in New England.
Still some work to do here at the par 3, Frank.
Yeah, you'd think there with the size of that green, this green would be an easy one to hit, but that's irrelevant now. Let's see if he can get it up and down.
Very nicely done, right on the dance floor.
Even par, currently.
That's a par, and that keeps the scorecard clean, still even for the round. Been some good golf early on. Let's get you caught up as we go out to the 7th hole. Nothing noteworthy here in the first round, Frank, but still plenty of golf to be played.
That's right, Rich. A little bit of a dry spell, but really not a lot of damage done.
Tugged that one a little bit offline to the left, and he'll pay a bit of a price because that rough is fairly thick. Getting set for this next shot from the rough, what does the player need to be careful of here, Frank?
Well, this is where we're going to see exactly how good they are because, you know, that's not exactly the best lie, but it's sort of doable if you know what you're doing.
So missed the fairway, and now he's back where he needs to be.
Yeah, minimize the problems.
Frank, you like his chances to walk away with a par here?
Well, with a good shot, Rich, yeah, that's certainly on the cards in that. And you think you just write a par down at the end of the hole, don't tell anyone about it. It certainly won't affect the scorecard at the end of the day. So that's the goal right here.
Really good distance control there, playing well to his strengths. And getting ready for the putt. They'll take it. That's a par. Now another par 3. We're at the 8th. Frank, it's only 165 yards.
It is, but when you look at the green, you can see how narrow it is. Actually, the green is nearly a figure 8, so it's obviously the right number hole. Bunker's sort of short leftish and that little pocket area on the right, so it'll punish anything left or right, even though the hole's just that meager yardage.
Not enough on that one.
Yeah, it just seemed to baby it.
Now from the bunker.
Yeah, just a little splash out on this par 3.
Once considered the best PGA teaching pro in the country, our featured golfer makes birdie and now sits comfortably inside the cut line. We move to the 9th hole and we begin to go inland, Frank. I'll miss some of the views along the ocean. I won't miss the nerves with the potential of a golf ball sailing off into the Atlantic Ocean. That said, par 5, you think about a scoring opportunity, but then I look at the scorecard and it says this is the number 6 handicap hole. That's pretty tough.
It is, and the reason why is there's trouble both sides of this fairway, and that's normally sand and cliffs. And the designer's really thrown the boat out, excuse the pun. We are on the coastline here. This whole doglegs to the left, and ideally you just sort of like to go fairway, fairway pitch. That's the prudent way to play the hole. But of course, everybody likes to chance the driver and reach the par 5 and 2. Miss, pay the price. Whoop, this is taken off on a weird line.
And it's going to be in the rough, it looks like. Into the thick stuff, that's a difficult lie. This requires a lot of speed through the ball. Frank, I think what sets golf apart from other sports is that the fan can get so close to the great athlete as the round is being played.
Yeah, well, that's why the sport itself, and we consider it more intimate for that reason. Most golf spectators play the game. Whereas other sports, you don't see NFL players sitting in the grandstand. You see spectators, but most golf fans are golfers.
Missed on that one, Frank.
Yeah, not a problem.
Getting set now over the putt.
And that par certainly won't hurt the cause.
There's still some time. Don't forget, second round coverage coming your way tomorrow here on EA Sports. For our entire crew, I'm Rich Lerner saying so long for now. EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live second-round coverage of the Mid-Season Classic. Fifth hole now at Lighthouse Point. Frank, it's a beefy par 4.
Another hole without any fairway bunkers off the tee, but really the main defense here at the cliffs is the elements. Find the fairway. And you'll also be hitting to a green that is protected by a little bunker to the right side of that and short. So precision, once again, required here.
And he pays a price for that.
Yeah, when you don't see the top of the ball in the rough, you know it's not sitting pretty. You need a bit of force to extract one out of there.
Frank, this ball's in the rough. You like to hinge just a little bit quicker on the takeaway when the ball is down like this?
No, when it's down, you've just got to make sure that you wind up almost like you're hitting a tee shot. This is not one to be dallied with. You've got to hit it powerfully, and you really have to focus on that club getting through the grass, past the ball, and out the other side.
Oh, no, look out, Frank. I think he flushed that one.
Oh, this is going, gone.
Into the tall cabbage. That ball is swallowed up. Frank, this is where the mental game really comes into play. You've hit a second consecutive shot into the rough.
This could compound very, very quickly, so now's a chance to just take a little breath, take a breather, and try to make sure this shot certainly gets out.
Pretty good shot right there. This one just requires a little bit of focus. Good work right there. He'll settle for par. Now at the 6th hole, it's a par 3, just under 200 yards. Where's the challenge here, Frank?
Well, you've got to love that bunker on the left side, Rich, especially because it's shaped like a letter L. Got to fly that. Green's not too deep, so really the challenge is trying to flight that ball in amongst the breeze should it kick up.
Should be pretty good right there. On the safe side. Oh, can't hide the flagstick from that man. Just 5 feet left. Starting to move on this leaderboard now, Frank.
It's got a nice look to it. Another who's who.
7th hole at Lighthouse Point is only 370 yards, Frank. Are you happy if you walk out of here with anything other than birdie?
If you hit the fairway, you definitely should be looking at birdie, but the biggest problem here is to decide, Rich, what club to hit off the tee. You could hit a multitude of clubs here. Further up you go, the narrower this fairway gets. Yeah, Rich, the reason why the best players enjoy stroke play so much is that every single shot's going to count. And you can't get away with anything in stroke play.
You have to manage your game, and you have to manage your emotions as well, because it can get away from you in a hurry. Frank, did you hear the sound of that coming off the club face?
It was like a cannon.
Frank, that swing looks lively and strong.
Oh, that had to fly 300. It's close to 310.
Second shot. Good look at the green. Well, that's how you play the game, right there. Made a par in his previous round. This time, it's for birdie. That birdie will help the cause. Getting set at the 8th hole. It's a par 3 of 165 yards. Break it down for us, partner.
This gets really narrow in the middle of this green, Rich. That's sort of the biggest problem. Matter of fact, only had 12 yards from that left side to the right in the middle. And the green itself actually is 3 times that in length, 36 yards. So straightness is the key here.
Headed for the bunker, I think. Oh my goodness, that could have been really bad.
Can you imagine if that kicks towards the bunker?
And this will be a 5-foot putt here. Oh my gosh, that hurts. Oh man.
I just pushed it.
Boy, that hurts. Settles in over the putt. Workmanlike hole. He walks away with a par. Now to the par 5 9th. Frank, what are we looking at here?
Well, for the longer hitters, it's actually a chance to reach a par 5 and 2. 300 yards is where that fairway starts to bend more to the left. So if you do the maths, it's going to give you roughly 250 yards to the middle sort of front left of that green. That's the easy way to play the hole. Make a mistake off the tee and you might find out this is a more difficult 3-shotter than what you were anticipating.
That's a good spot right there.
Center cut. Oh, that had some meat behind it. Second shot.
Frank, it hit the green, but just didn't have enough backspin.
Yeah, you wonder what he's thinking on that.
All right, so greenside bunker. What's he looking to do with this shot, Frank?
Well, really you have to look at the amount of green you got to play with. You don't have to try and fly the ball right by the flag. allow it to run. Plus, if you can get it to run like a putt, you never know, it might just go in.
Chance to close out the front side here with a birdie. Trying to make yet another birdie. Looks primed right now.
Anything other than backing up. Very aggressive. That birdie, now in second.
EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live third-round coverage of the Mid-Season Classic. Frank, this game has taken us all over the world to some absolutely beautiful spots, and this is one of the prettiest I've seen in a long time, the cliffs at Lighthouse Point along the eastern coast of Maine.
It's always fun when we head up in the northeast area. Golf's been in this area for a long, long time. This golf course hasn't. Rather new design by Brandt and Patel, and it's lengthy, 7,700 yards. You'll get to hit just about every club in the bag, so good test today.
Now we go to the 11th hole, and this is a par 5, but it's actually shorter than the par 4 10th. This one comes in at 530 yards, and more evidence of the kind of creativity by the award-winning design team of Patel and Duncan.
Well, that's right. Patel really is known to be the shaper. He's the one that makes all those interesting shapes of the bunkers. For example, here, nipping it in the fairway, making driver almost too much club or very, very risky, plus the front bunker there. Now, this is a great par 5. The reason why, it's reachable, it's tempting, but you don't know what you're going to finish up shooting on it. You know, this is not heading in the right direction.
No, it looks like it's going to be in the rough. So that sets up a tougher second shot, missing the fairway with the drive, now in the rough. Second shot coming out of the rough here. It is a windy day out here, Frank. My hat just blew off. This is going to affect the players' shots, that's for sure. So missed the fairway, and now he's back where he needs to be.
Yeah, minimize the problems.
Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
Another good swing, and it looks like, Frank, another really good shot. Wow, Frank, he is dialed in.
Yeah, that was just some shot on there. Easy birdie.
This hole's been good to him. Birdie yesterday, and trying for another one today. And with that birdie, moves into second place. 12th hole now, and Frank, the long hitters could have an advantage here.
If they want to take a very dangerous line over that left side, this is really where the shot maker has the advantage. That hole bending completely to the left. You'd like to hit a draw there, so use those bunkers down the through side of the fairway and then just sort of shape that ball towards the green. Interesting shaped green, really 3 different sections to this, and of course 3 bunkers, each protecting a different portion.
Frank made this hole just a little bit harder hitting it into the rough.
I would say a lot harder.
170 yards still to go. Well, this is the kind of wind that separates the great players from the average players. You really have to be strong to handle these kinds of winds. Well, it looks as though they're going to need to use all their strength to sort of hack it out of that rough, missing it off the tee here. You have to think he'll be happy with that, given that it looked like it was headed right for the rough.
Yeah, it looked like that was the only place it was going to finish, but, well, it's a little bit unexplainable. Let's see what he does from here now. Lucky break. Oh, that's off the beaten track. You got 5 minutes to find it.
Shot now from the rough. Frank, what's he facing?
Well, the lie first and foremost. If it's sitting down, then obviously you're not going to get a very good contact. Nothing wrong with coming up a little bit short of the green. Problem is turning one mistake into another.
Just a couple of feet.
This can be a cruel game at times.
That's about as depressing a moment as there is in golf. When you miss the bogey putt, you know you're staring at double.
Getting set now over the putt. Frank, that is absolutely demoralizing. A big number, a double bogey at this stage of the tournament.
Now to the 13th hole, and Frank, this could make you quake in your soft spikes. 702 yards, par 5. It might be a par 6 or a 7.
Well, I think a few people will make 6 or 7 here. You're right. This is a rarity in golf, 700 yards. So forget about any thought of even getting close to this par 5 and 2. Plus, just to add insult to injury, the 2 bunkers off the tee are perfectly placed. They're about 298 yards, smack bang in the middle of that. I doubt you can get past those, but you need a good drive, really, to try and leave yourself a short third shot.
Second from an excellent lie.
Probably going to have to hit one more club here, Frank. A little bit uphill. Frank, you played in conditions all over the world. Here come the winds now. What's the mindset?
Well, this is really what separates the men from the boys. This is where you've got to tell yourself that it's an advantage to you. Obviously, the scores will go up a little bit, given the conditions. But once again, this is going to suit the stronger player today.
You like the old phrase, swing easy when it's breezy?
Definitely when you're hitting it into a head breeze. But down breeze, tee it up a little bit, try and ride that wind some more. That was miles away.
Now at the par 3 14th, over another body of water. Frank, you could make some big numbers on this golf course. I would think if you walk out of here today having shot under par, you have to be really happy.
Certainly is big boy golf playing around the cliffs at Lighthouse Point, Rich. And this is another example here at this beefy par 3, 240 yards. You can see Lake Zimmer protects the front of this green and to the right, and that's obviously where they get all their irrigation water from. But there's enough green left. Really what you've got to be looking at, that front left section.
Midway through this back nine, could use this birdie here at the 14th.
Ooh, chance for birdie.
Has it? Now
So through 54 holes, a really good position inside the top 5 with one round to go.
Yeah, and those handful of players that we're looking at, Rich, they certainly have looked the best players this week, which makes tomorrow look like a real thriller.
EA Sports, and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live final round coverage of the Mid-Season Classic.
New course to most of the golfers on tour. This challenging layout just opened in 2015. Today we're along the east coast of Maine. Rich Lerner with Frank Nobila. We'll be calling all the action from the cliffs at Lighthouse Point.
Another great design from Brand Patel, and they really threw the boat out here. Some excellent choice of holes, and you see the changes in elevation. You get this on a windy day, and of course 7,700 yards will play even longer than that. A nice calm day though, Rich, and you really can shoot a good score out here.
Well. What do we have here, partner? The par 5 13th, or is it a par 8? I can't tell.
It looks like a misprint, Rich. 702 yards, and not only that, too, they put the two fairway bunkers in a perfect place. Perfect place if they want to annoy your tee shot. It's going to take 310, 320 yards just to get past that. Then you've got a long way to go. And, of course, remember when you're on 10? This is the shared green. So 13 and 10, and this is where they meet up again at the end of a long walk.
Now from a good position in the fairway, his second shot. Frank couldn't ask for anything more.
Just the lie there, too. It is sitting up like it's teed up.
Chance to get it close here. So a chance for birdie after another solid approach shot.
It's no snack, though.
Well, Frank, he needed that birdie. Had to have it.
Now only trailing by 2, Rich.
Pretty good shot. That ball settles in about 13 feet away.
You'd like to think unlucky for some, but birdie putt coming up.
A makeable putt right here. He is currently sitting at 1 under par. Good birdie right there, Frank.
Oh, time to get another cup of coffee. Things are heating up.
The round continues at Lighthouse Point, and Frank, the 15th hole is a par 4, only 387 yards. Paying attention like a little kid at school, Frank. That baby's sitting up.
Sitting up? It's got the best view as well. You don't even need binoculars from where that ball is.
Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
That eagle, Frank, now only 2 shots back. And another fun hole here at Lighthouse Point. It's the last par 3 on the back 9 as we begin this closing stretch. 241 yards downhill, par 3 16th. Well, the tee shot has landed in the bunker. So getting set for a greenside bunker shot. Frank, when I think of the great bunker players in the history of the sport, I think about Gary Player, Seve Ballesteros, whom you knew so well. What did they do that made them so effective on these greenside bunker shots?
They had an attitude for a start that was different. For them, it was they saw possibilities. And they would imagine the amount of sand. Remember, because this is the only shot in golf where you don't have to hit the ball first. So they would really choose the amount of sand behind the ball, whether that was an inch or two. Aim the club at that and made sure they followed through.
Frank, looks like maybe the greatest bunker player of all time right there.
Well, he's making a name for himself today. You could certainly put him up there with Gary Player, Severiano Ballesteros. That was just a great bunker shot. And another good par.
17th hole is another par 5 over 600 yards. You get a terrific view of Juniata Crossway Bridge just ahead. And Frank, if you jump over that bridge, you can get a dynamite lobster roll at Nielsen's Lobster Shack. I don't know if you've ever had it.
Oh,
but
it's one of the best.
It just adds to sort of the charm of this area. But what a hole this is.
S-shaped par 5. You can see it bending to the right off the tee, and then the hole starts to go the other way with magnificent view of the bridge you're just referring to. Reachable for the longest hitters, but once again, avoid the bunkers, and they're all down the right side.
Well, this looks good.
Certainly is.
That's an absolute tracer right there. In the fairway, and well over 320 yards. Playing his second shot here at the par 5.
Well, this is taken off on a weird line.
And it's going to be in the rough, it looks like.
Well, Mr. Ball does not meet Mr. Fairway. It's off, rough.
Frank, out of the rough, best to swing a little bit easier or get after it with all you have?
Well, a little bit in between. Obviously, it's going to require a little bit of strength to make sure that club keeps going through, but it's still the planning of the shot. Once again, check short. Is there anything I have to carry? And even, remember, there's always the option of just simply pitching the ball down the fairway and taking your medicine.
out of the rough and right up next to the hole. Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business. Racking them and stacking them. That's 12 under par now for the tournament. Well, at last we're at number 18, and Frank, I have really enjoyed this golf course. And now when you see the lighthouse in the distance, it really makes it that much more special.
It is. The beacon will always take you home. And speaking of home, this finishing hole, it bends to the left. A good tee shot will somehow find the fairway and just leave you a short iron in. And, of course, you make 3 here, and then that smile's going to light up like a beacon.
Pretty good drive here.
Another straight one.
Frank, you think about the great rivalries in sports, the Yankees and the Red Sox, Holly and Frazier, and in golf, Nicklaus and Palmer. Great athletes, great teams pushing one another to great heights.
It's amazing how that's gone forward too, because Nicklaus and Palmer really became Nicklaus and Watson. Then there was like Norman Faldo, but some would say that Faldo Ballesteros, 6 majors to 5 was even more important. But in this era that we're in now, I think we're all praying for that Woods-McIlroy rivalry. Woods with 14 majors, McIlroy already with 4. That really is one to salivate over.
It should be pretty good right there. On the safe side. That's an outstanding shot right there, and it sets up a really good look at birdie. To win the Mid-Season Classic. Continues to amaze. Yet another birdie, and what a day it's been.
NBC Golf Channel on EA Sports, in association with the PGA Tour, proudly presents the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today it's live opening round coverage of the Arizona Summer Classic. Simply put, there is nothing like it in the game of golf. It is by far the biggest spectator event in the sport. We're at TPC Scottsdale in Scottsdale, Arizona. Hello again and welcome. Rich Lerner alongside my friend and colleague Frank Navalo. And Frank, what can you tell us about this golf course?
Well, everybody wants to know about 16, the famed par 3 here, surrounded by those skyboxes. Once again, that'll be a topic of the day. But really, this is a regular site for the PGA Tour. So those of you that were familiar with the golf course, it's now changed. 2014, the designers Morris and Weiskopf did a massive renovation.
Well over 100,000 fans every day, better than 500,000 for the week. It's a giant party mixed in with a heck of a tournament. Not terrible, but not his best.
Yeah, outside chance, really, for birdie, but really, it was a rather poor approach shot.
Frank, I'm not saying he should pull out driver here, but this is a long putt.
Greens are fast, though. You never know. Good line, good pace. Might have a chance.
So a long putt there and just didn't read it quite right. Ooh, that hurts. Oh, man.
I just pushed it.
Boy, that hurts. Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. Well, with that drop shot, moves to 1 over for the tournament. Frank, the par 4 8th, this is a good hole.
It is. A dogleg to the left forces the player to go at the right, and this will play every inch of its yardage, which is over 470 yards. Green's still pretty much the same with that false front, unless there's a flag position in the front. You're really going to have to fly it at least 20 yards or so into that green. Otherwise, that ball is going to run towards the front. What a great shot.
He has given this one the full treatment. Perfect release through the ball. And this shot is on the fairway, over 300 yards.
Setting up for an approach shot here. Frank, this is good golfing weather. Nice strong breeze. Well on the green, but far from the hole.
Yeah, a little bit of a head scratcher. A lot of work coming up here.
Frank, he'll have to take a full swing at this putt for birdie.
This is long, but every now and again, one of these finds the bottom of the cup and makes that magic sound.
Well, maybe next time. So a tester from 4 feet. Boy, that hurts right there, Frank.
Yeah, he's got to knuckle down now, though, because, we've seen it before, Rich. 2 putts turn into 3, 4. So make sure you can limit the damage here.
Just a tap in to finish the hole. That is another bogey. It's getting messy, Frank.
Ouch.
Rounding out the front 9 with a par 4 of 453 yards from the back tee. Looks to be straight away here, Frank. Anything to be cautious about on this tee shot?
Well, that bunker, there used to be 2 bunkers down the right side. There is now 1, and it also pinches into the fairway, which almost makes this hole look like a faint dogleg right. But really, the best line is still down the left side, so it still actually suits a draw off the tee. Green is slightly elevated and not very deep, too. So judging that second shot, getting the right club is essential here at 9. Now, this is not heading in the right direction.
No, it looks like it's going to be in the rough. Oh, look out, Frank. Where's this one headed?
This is definitely rough, Rich, off the tee.
Second shot coming out of the rough here. Frank, not close, but from that lie, not bad.
Oh, that's excellent. Seriously, given the conditions, Rich.
This one just requires a little bit of focus.
Inexcusable.
Sitting right now at 2 over par for the round. Frank, you can see by the reaction, it has been that kind of week. Just a few too many pars. Now to the 10th hole. This a sharp dogleg to the right, Frank, a par 4.
A good way to start this second 9. Really, it requires a nice tee shot down the left. There's no real advantage to try and carry it over that bunker, the one that's situated on the corner. So if you respect it and go a little left of that, you're going to have something in the vicinity of 160, 150 yards left.
And that one lands in the first cut, Frank.
Interesting choice coming ahead here. It'll be interesting to see how he reads this lie.
So in the first cut here, it could be worse.
Well, he's taking the right side out of play, Rich. It looks a little left.
Coming out of the rough, not able to control it the way he wants.
I mean, there's skill, And that was sublime.
Just good hands, coming out of the rough, able to manage the distance, and now in great position. So, 1 over par for the round. Moving on to the 11th hole, Frank, water all along the left side, 472 yards. How do you handle this one?
Well, this one's weird because the tees are a little off-center. They start down the right side, which makes it into a dogleg. And you mentioned the water. It always comes into play. And there are 0 fairway bunkers. You don't need them here at 11 because really it's all about the tee shot. Find the fairway, then even though it's a long par 4, you should be able to at least attack that green safely. Miss the fairway to the right, which is the barrel outside, and your problems are just starting.
Chance to get it close here.
Rich, these winds haven't subsided at all today. It's certainly a tough test out there right now for these players.
They get your attention, don't they, as a player?
They have club selection right now, vital.
You put the ball back in your stance just a little bit?
If you're going to hit it down.
Not looking good, Frank.
I think it's wet.
So the second of the par 4 goes begging, and now I'll have to rely on the short game.
Yeah, but a short game, as we all know, can redeem a lot of mistakes. Let's see if he does it here.
In the cup. What a shot. Can't get much better than that. Second round coverage coming your way tomorrow. For our entire crew, I'm Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo. So long for now.
This is EA Sports coverage of the PGA Tour. Everybody licks their chops when they get the chance to play one of the most famous courses in the world, the Stadium Course at the TPC Sawgrass in Ponte Vedra Beach, Florida. Frank, where are the scoring opportunities on this Pete Dye layout?
You can always look at the par 5s, 2, 9, 11 and 16. They provide probably the best chances to make birdies, or even in some situations, eagles. The next best thing really is the short par 4s. 12 comes to mind, a little blind tee shot. You don't have to hit driver, just sort of something long ironish, maybe a fairway wood off the tee, and then a wedge shot into a green that, will certainly, if you put the ball in the right position, give you an excellent chance for another birdie. It's fine.
Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
Appears to be what they call a commercial play. Very solid.
Wow, Frank, he is dialed in.
Yeah, that was just some shot on that. Easy birdie.
Frank, you want to get out of the gates quickly, hit the proper approach shot here at the first. What does the player need to look out for?
Well, there's two distinct levels to this green. There's that left side and then that collection area to the right side. Flag on the top, it's a very, very difficult shot because that bunker plump comes into play.
And getting ready for the putt. -1, and really going. The birdie. So into red figures at 1 under. Frank, what do you make of the par 5 second?
Doglegs to the left, so there's a decision to be made here all the time, but a good hooking tee shot, that takes the trees on the left out of play, and even the rough on the right. Good tee shot here. I've seen people get home with as little as a 5-iron.
And that's going to stay on the fairway here at the second hole. Okay, the second shot now at this par 5. Safely aboard. Now from a good position in the fairway, his second shot. You want to get to what they call the gauntlet, 16, 17, and 18 with a chance. 16 is the reachable par 5. You can make eagle there. And then the final 2 holes, you just want to steer clear of trouble. Though, with bold play, and you mentioned it with Craig Perks, you could make birdies.
It really is a case of mind over matter when you look at those holes. You're right. If you took away the water, you'd think they're 3 nice holes. But it wouldn't be the same. You intimidate the player as he plays 15. He's well aware of the finishing 3 holes.
This one has a chance to be close. Good chunk of real estate here, 22 feet away. You couldn't ask for much more than that, except to make it. Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. Wow, that was so close, Frank.
Just time to forget that one. I mean, he couldn't hit that much better.
Makeable putt right here. He is currently sitting at 1 under for the round. So 2 under early on. Eyeing this putt for a birdie. Makes the putt and moving in the right direction. 2 under par. Setting up for the 3rd hole here at TPC Sawgrass. Relatively short par 3 at 177 yards.
But you've got to carry that ball at least 4 or 5 yards onto this green, even when it's firm.
Good looking shot right here. On the green. And looking at a birdie opportunity. Strong winds have been a factor all day here, Frank. What's the key to scoring low in conditions like this?
Well, sometimes you've almost got to make the ball go to ground. You've just got to keep it out of those high breezes, play away from the trouble.
Well, you can hear it right off the center of the club face. This has a chance to be close. Boy, this could be a tough one right here, Frank.
It's a very long putt, Rich. Obviously, it's difficult, but he still has a shot to sink this one for birdie.
Well, that just brings a smile to your face, puts a little pep in the step when you make them from down. Nice, solid start to the round. Tee to green looks to be in command.
Yeah, it's surprising. I thought he might have been a little shaky out of the gate, but certainly proved me wrong.
Frank, did you hear the sound of that coming off the club face?
It was like a cannon.
That one is in the fairway, down there about 290 yards. Frank, through the years, we have seen countless what we would call good ball strikers, great swingers of the golf club, but there is something else that separates those kinds of players with the truly great achievers in the sport. What is it?
Great achievers have more than one plan. I think most players, it's always good if they're playing their golf. But what do you do if your driving is off or if your iron play is off? Do you have a plan B? Great players not only have a plan B, they have a plan C as well. And that's the difference. So when you set foot on the first tee, you've also got to be aware of, what if my driver doesn't go as well as I would like to, or my iron play isn't as sharp? Can I still compete?
So they can turn 74 into a 71.
That's right. And at the end of a 4-day tournament, the 71 doesn't look so bad, even if somebody shot 65 that day. Remember, as you know, and both of us know now, when you look at 4 days, someone always plays average for a day, but they don't play bad.
Golf tournaments aren't 100-yard sprints, they're marathons. Frank, the second here at the fourth is a dangerous shot.
Once again, this is another example of where you have to look at the green. Where exactly is the flag? If it's on that high portion, you've got to fly it all the way back. This looks like it's going to find the target.
Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. How about that? 4 under par. Yeah, here we go. Starting to roll now. 4 under with that birdie. Fifth hole here at TPC Sawgrass. Long par 4. What's the challenge, Frank?
Depending, really, if you're long or short hitter. The long hitters have the luxury of taking it over the corner of the bunker down the right. Shorter hitters really play at that bunker down the left. 320 run out.
Excellent drive, Frank. Right where you want to be. Right in the heart of the fairway, green light special. Frank, mistake-free golf. You hope you can keep it together. Possibility of a very special round here.
Yeah, the only real thing to worry about is not to get too far ahead of yourself. At the moment, the swing looks tremendous. And just keep the round ticking over, one hole at a time. I know it sounds like a cliche, but right now, he's exactly where he wants to be.
Frank getting set for the second shot here at the fifth. What's the best way to go at it?
Rich, it's one of the hardest par fours on the golf course. There's nothing wrong with aiming right at the middle of the green here. You can certainly putt to where the flag is from there.
Seems to like it. Looks like it's headed for the green. Frank, I'm not saying he should pull out driver here, but this is a long putt.
Greens are fast, though. You never know. Good line, good pace. Might have a chance.
That was not a very good read right there. This one just requires a little bit of focus.
Well, for such a strong man, weak putt.
Now I'll have to make this just to avoid making Michael Bublé. Starting to really play well, -5. -3 now for the round. Hole number 6. I really like this hole, Frank. It's fun par 4.
Yeah, very claustrophobic tee shot, hitting through that chute to the fairway. Starts to open up and then it sort of shrinks in again because of all the palm trees around this green. But very short par 4. So if you're good with a wedge, good chance for 3. Ooh, nice little bounce forward. Should be close to 300, 290.
Getting set for another approach. Our featured golfer really looks dialed in at this point.
Yeah, right now this is a great feeling to have as a golfer. Your swing's good, the timing, it's almost like it's just completely natural. You don't have to think. The swing is exactly where you want it to be. So really you're just looking at the flag in front of you.
That is classy.
No chance of going in.
Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
This one looks like it's headed right for the middle of the dance floor, Frank.
Rather nice shot, I would say.
Settles in over the putt. Oh, man.
Just pushed it.
Boy, that hurts. Just a couple of feet. Keeps the momentum going with that putt. Stays at 3 under. Good chance here. Currently at 5 under par. Good work right there, now to 6 under. Frank, the 7th hole here at the TPC Sawgrass, vintage Pete Dye, isn't it?
It is. Anything other than straight. Confuses the player off the tee. But there's 3 pot bunkers down the right side. Just inside that last little pot bunker on the left of that. It's actually a pretty good line.
Right where they were aiming, in the fairway. This is going to be a tough day on the links. I mean, even the Seagulls are walking to work. Now the approach to the 7th. Frank, what do you need to be mindful of here?
It's rather narrow in the front of this green, and then there's some mounds both right and left. Be very aware of those mounds. They can actually help you out.
Appears to be a smart shot, Frank.
Yeah, no problem here. That's going to fly all the way.
Oh, just a superb shot.
You're not going to see much better than that all day today.
That should be pretty good right there. On the safe side. Getting set now over the putt. That puts them at 4 under for the round. He has a birdie opportunity here. Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. Frank, this is a hole that I really like. The 8th, 237-yard par 3, just a necklace of bunkers surrounding the green. What's the best approach?
You come out through that chute or that hallway of trees there, and this being the longest of the 4 par 3s of TPC Sawgrass, the green actually plays much smaller than what it looks because of that narrow entry. Not too bad. It's about 23 feet away.
He didn't hit the flagstick, but he still has a chance. Birdie chance here. Very long putt, though.
Got to be a little careful if it gets away on him.
Wow, that was so close, Frank.
Just time to forget that one. I mean, he couldn't hit that much better.
Shouldn't be a problem here. Frankie took plenty of time on this birdie putt. He looked at it from 3 different angles. He forgot one very important ingredient.
Yeah, pace. You can definitely fall in love with the line, even with approach shots as well, but obviously we see it more on putting.
Good work right there. He'll settle for par. Four under on the day. Frank, now at the ninth, this really is one of my favorite par fives in the entire sport.
And I certainly enjoy watching people play it today, Rich. It used to be unreachable, but the longer hitters now, we're starting to see them go for this par 5 regularly in 2. And the reason why they start to hit the drive more down the right now than what they used to. People used to try and go down the left side. The right side, it hugs the water, but you get a better view of the second shot. That's fine.
Players bracing against these strong, gusty winds. Really a challenge out there. Set for his next shot from a good position in the fairway. Second from an excellent lie. Well, he'd like to have that one back in the bunker.
Still a chance to get it up and down.
Routine stuff here, Frank, from the bunker?
You just got to be careful of that lip in front of him with his third shot coming up.
Beautiful shot. That is tight.
Unbelievable. That is one to savor for the rest of the round.
Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
This is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag. It's no snack, though.
Never quite had enough oomph on that.
Yeah, sort of a wishy-washy stroke.
And getting ready for the putt. Starting to move in the right direction. 5 under after that made putt. Nothing wrong with that par putt. Excellent front side, trying to keep it going here on the second 9.
He's just playing beautifully, hitting so many good shots, giving himself so many opportunities. Can he keep it going? What a great shot.
That's a good spot right there.
Center cut.
Looks to be a good setup going into the green here at the 10th. Frank, where's the difficulty on this approach here at the 10th?
It's really the shape of this green. That little front piece, You have to be right on the money there. And then, of course, that green starts to open up and then move to the right.
Good swing, good shot yet again. You can't hide the flagstick from that man.
He is just unbelievable. That never deviated offline.
All right, Frank, now the approach here at number 10. What's the right way to play it?
Just avoid that bunker on the right and don't go too long and left. Over the back left is not an easy up and down.
Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. Continues to amaze, yet another birdie, and what a day it's been. So a tester from 4 feet. Moves to -8. Hole number 11, 558-yard, par 5. Frank, players in attack mode here?
Yeah, just try and blitz it down there. There are other bunkers on the left to consider, but really, with that much fairway, this is a green light opportunity. Tom Weiskopf was one of my idols growing up. I loved the way he swung. That swing right there reminds me of my idol.
It looks like Rory McIlroy, Frank, sticking the follow-through.
Second shot.
Frank couldn't ask for anything more.
Just the lie there, too. It is sitting up like it's teed up.
Frank, what's so compelling about rivalries in sports is that athletes need each other if they're going to go to great heights. Joe Frazier needed Muhammad Ali to solidify his legend. Jack Nicklaus probably needed Arnold Palmer to go to a place that he had not been. And I think that's true across the board as we look at rivalries in sports.
I think it defines careers, Rich. It's not until those players retire that they realized how important it was to have that foe. So often we're living in the present like we are now with Tiger Woods and Rory McIlroy. And it's not for years to come that we'll realise the sport wouldn't have been the same with one without the other.
Didn't check, Frank.
Yeah, just not enough spin on that, really. I mean, that almost took that first bounce and just ricocheted forward.
Great professionals, Frank, they don't fear the greenside bunker shot, do they?
No, because you can be as aggressive or as conservative as you want. You actually have far more options. And you don't have to hit the ball first.
I mean, that's how the game is played, right there.
He's just making it look so easy. That birdie coming up, formality.
Frank, the scoring club is in hand now, chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, coming from that left side, you've got a full view of this green, and you can see the mounds too. Use the mounds to your advantage.
Eight-foot putt here. You may have lost track at home, but we're keeping count, and that is 9 under for the day. This one just requires a little bit of focus. Makes the putt for a birdie. Now to the par 4 12th, and it's a pretty short hole, Frank.
Yeah, Pete Dye often doesn't get enough credit for his short par 4s. This is a great example where one of the features of it is the blind second shot, just to give you a little bit of doubt on judging the distance.
Well, he pays a price for that.
Yeah, when you don't see the top of the ball in the rough, you know it's not sitting pretty. You'll need a bit of force to extract one out of there.
Now the approach to the 12th, Frank. What's the player looking at?
Well, it's a fun shot here for the second shot, especially if you've driven it down the right side, because then you can see the flag no matter where it is on the green.
Oh, can't hide the flag stick from that man. Second shot coming out of the rough here. Miss-hit, wrong club. What happened there, Frank?
All of the above, maybe. That's a little bit of a head scratcher. It wasn't that hard a shot.
Wow, what a shot.
What are the chances of making it from there?
Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. Hole number 13 here at Sawgrass. Tricky 181-yard par 3.
You don't have to hit directly at this flag. When that flag's at the back there, you can use the contours. When it's on the left, once again, you can use the ridge in the middle of the green. Matter of fact, one of the hardest hole locations is when it's in the front right, because that's when you have to be perfect. Whoop, this is taken off on a weird line.
And it's going to be in the rough, it looks like. And it looks like it's in the rough there, Frank.
It might not be as bad as it looks. Oh, solid strike right in the heart of the green.
Well, that is an exceptional shot on the green and in position for a birdie.
Yeah, it's a formality now.
Ball sitting down here in the rough. He's digging in. Really use this one. It's for birdie. Well, in the words of the late, great baseball commentator for the Yankees, Phil Rizzuto, it's time for holy cow, Whitey. That's 11 under par. 14th hole, 481-yard, par 4, ranking second in difficulty, Frank.
Yeah, this one always gets overlooked, Rich. You've only got to flick the drive a little left, and all of a sudden your round just gets completely wrecked. Ask Vijay Singh. It cost him a Players' Championship. Many a player there has dealt with that left side. You will pay the price. Got the measurement out there, Rich. Looks like 290 yards.
Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
Good looking shot right here. That will be a great look at birdie. Frank, there's a lot to factor in on this approach at the 14th.
You can favor right side of this green and sort of allow the contours of the green just to move that ball to the left. There's a bunker over there.
I think he's headed for it. That one ends up in the rough.
That went sideways.
Just trying to make clean contact from the rough. Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. And that one drops for a birdie. Eight under par for the round. Back to the TPC Sawgrass, the 15th hole. It's a par 4 as we make our way to this finishing stretch. And Frank, what's in store for the players here?
Another one of those par 4s around 450 yards. Ideally hit it tee shot down the right side, keeping away from that bunker, but that's a flat bunker down the right with no lip, so it's still not too bad. Biggest problem here is that green. So many undulations on this green.
He has given this one the full treatment. Perfect release through the ball. And this shot is on the fairway, over 300 yards. Good contact, good result. Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
Terrific golf shot. And now that for an easy birdie. Frank, what's the key on this approach here at the 15th?
Well, knowing exactly where that pin placement is, Rich, there's mounding, there's that little gut out of the right side of this green. If you miss your mark here, that ball can easily finish 30 or 40 feet away.
This could be a good one. Into the tall cabbage. That ball is swallowed up. He'll need to be strong with this. And he has it.
A good putt redeems all.
He's putting for par now. He's made it. You licking your chops here, Frank, as a player when you get to this tee box?
Well, it's an opportunity. A 4 here certainly makes the mood better when you walk to 17 and then 18. So a 4 here is more than just making a birdie on a par 5. Ah, nice.
Looks good. Good tee shot, good lie, and now a good chance to take advantage here on this hole. Be a little disappointed with that because it lands in the rough and it appears to be fairly thick over there. Good thing he stayed in the first cut, because just a couple of feet over, that rough is really deep. Well, this one is offline just a bit. Look out. That one is going to end up in the rough. Frank, better than we thought it was going to be.
Yeah, that looked like it was headed for that thick stuff the whole way, but a little fortunate. But then I guess you're allowed that in this game.
So 24 feet after that approach shot, Frank.
It's well, just outside the what you'd think very makeable distance.
Chance to get it close here. Getting set now over the putt. That's good. I like it. Oh, they're going to love it. What a putt. Just a couple of feet. You may have lost track at home, but we're keeping count, and that is 9 under for the day. Frank, as a fan, it's so exciting because it's just so simple as well. Ball's in the air. You're wondering, where is it? Wet, dry, short, long, winner or loser?
And it's no surprise that this hole was an accident. This one was designed by not Pete Dye, but his wife Alice Dye. But we have seen so many accidents right here.
That is an excellent play right there. The approach, giving him another good look. Has a shot of about 145 yards. This one doesn't look good.
There's water over there.
Just averted danger right there. So close.
Why does he have all the luck?
Birdie chance here. Very long putt, though.
Got to be a little careful if it gets away on him.
Very well done. Almost made it.
Yeah, there'll be no stress for the next one.
Shouldn't be a problem here, but not a formality either. Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall for par. Good effort and good par putt. People always talk about 17 being visually intimidating. Frank, what about 18?
If there's a little bit of wind off the right, the tee shot is so much easier. But if that wind is coming off the water, not only do you see the water and the wooden bulkheads, you see all the rough and the trees on the right. And of course, then you start bringing 5, 6, 7, even 8 into play. That's what makes this tee shot so hard.
Always makes the hole easier, playing it from the fairway.
This has to go in the hazard.
It needs to get up, or it might need some wings just to clear this hazard.
That water is looking rather intimidating.
So hit the previous shot in the water, took a drop, this now the third shot. Frank, this is one you don't practice, but sometimes you have to do it. Time for the drop.
Yeah, it should be the easiest shot in golf. You've just paid for it. Good recovery shot. Couldn't make the green, but at least he's back in play.
Played the smart shot right there. Frank, really challenging second shot here at the home hole, the 18th.
You have to be decisive going in here. You can see all the trouble in front of you. Water left, that mounding on the right. Neither place really is good to go. So somehow you've got to muster up your best shot.
That would be a great look at birdie. Frank, it's all about focus and positive imagery, isn't it, here on this approach shot at the 18th?
You have to be precise with your target here. You can't be looking left at the water or mounds on the right. Plus, there's all the mounding on the screen. So, in the end, look at the flag, aim at the flag, go there.
This one just requires a little bit of focus.
Oh, now that is going to hurt.
Not a gimme, but well within his range. That was a good-looking putt, just not falling right now.
No, sadly, he's going to be disappointed.
This from 7 feet. Take no pleasure in saying it, but it's a fact. It's a double bogey. Trying to move on with a par in his pocket. No problems there.
Yeah, keeps the round going, keeps the momentum on his side.
Frank, that was an impressive round out there today.
Couldn't agree more, Rich. We've seen some great shots out there, and I'm excited to see how the rest of this tournament plays out.
EA Sports is proud to present today's PGA Tour coverage. Hello again and welcome. I'm Rich Lerner, and beside me is my friend and colleague Frank Nobilo. We're in the state of California, set to kick off the round here at the challenging PGA West course. Par 72 setting up as a demanding challenge to any golfer stepping on this course, especially, Frank, when it comes down to the 17th hole. They call it Alcatraz.
Well, as we know, hardly anybody gets out of Alcatraz. You want to throw a little nugget in? In 2000, Joe Daly looked like he was going to get his tour card, hit a putt from 3 foot, hit the liner, bounce back out. A lot of things can happen on 17. Oh, beautiful swing, and the result is every bit as good.
All right, Frank, break down this approach shot here at hole number 1.
Well, typical Pete Dye confuses you straight out of the gate. Draw off the tee, and then you've got to hit that second shot in left to right. Look at the angle of that green. It points away to the right.
Well, that's how you play the game, right there. Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
This is a good-looking shot. Shouldn't be a problem here. -1 in the early going. You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. In red figures at 1 under par. Teed up here at the second hole, Frank, this is a short par 4 measuring about 370 yards.
While it mightn't have the yardage, it's certainly made up in strategy by all the bunkering down here, Rich. And it's really two bunkers that you've got to, or two complexes that you've really got to worry about. One down the left, you see, is about 285 yards to carry, and then that next crop comes in just about 300 yards. So you've got to decide whether to go over the bunker on the left and short of the other one, or even lay up to the right, perhaps short. And that's where you realize this is very much a two-shot hole, and play it that way.
Good chance for birdie here. Short iron in hand. The approach now to the second hole. He's making the game look very simple right now. See it, hit it, and he's got it right on track. All right, Frank, what's the player looking at here on the second hole with the approach shot?
Well, Rich, notice the bunker that cuts into the green on the left side. It turns it into a crescent-shaped green. So really there's three distinct sections, the one in the back, the one in the middle, and the front. Just be very wary of where the flag is here.
-2 for the day. Looks good today with that birdie, bringing his score to -2. Frank, Pete Dye certainly gives you a variety of holes, and we see that. Granted, 3 par 4s to start, but each one with a different look.
They certainly are, Rich, and it's amazing what one good bunker will do. And the bunker I'm referring to is the one down the left side. It's about 285 yards to carry. It's the sort of bunker that keeps you honest.
He has given this one the full treatment. Perfect release through the ball. And this shot is on the fairway, over 300 yards. Frank, he is one of the longest hitters in the game, but at some point, you have to hit a fairway.
Yeah, he's certainly not the straightest. I think that was the bit you're going to put in the middle.
Second shot coming out of the rough here. So the golf ball ends up in that first cut. It's a little bit less than 2 inches. You can see the golf ball. Should be able to get at it, but may not be able to control the spin. We'll see. I like the looks of this one. Now that is a shot that will be replayed over and over. Ball sitting down here in the rough. He's digging in.
Oh, solid strike right in the heart of the green.
Beautiful shot, lands within 5 feet of the cup. Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. To -2 early in the round. Now at the fourth, par 3, and Frank, what's the key here?
Somehow find some green grass. The name Sandpit pretty much tells you what is around the green.
Appears to be a smart shot, Frank.
Yeah, no problem here. That's going to fly all the way.
That's a beautiful shot, and that sets him up for a really easy putt. This shot, a full 200 yards. Frank, why are great rivalries so important? Why do we love them?
I think because people like to sit on one side of the fence. You're either for or against a great player. And I think we see that today with Tiger Woods and Rory McIlroy. There's the McIlroy fans that think his future is so bright. There's the Woods fans that still want him to pass Jack Nicklaus's record. That's the beauty. You've got to have an opinion, and you have to have a player.
Into the thick stuff, that's a difficult lie. Second shot from the rough. It's on the way. Oh, without a doubt, that will be on the highlight reel later tonight. Excellent shot. Shouldn't be a problem here, but not a formality either. No problems early. Looks good.
It does look good. This bodes well. We might be in for a very, very low round today. I'm loving that balance.
Oh, this looks good.
Certainly is.
Frank, still relatively early in the round, but given what we've seen so far, this could be a heck of a golf round.
Yeah, right now, everything's just going according to plan. It's like he's playing on all 8 cylinders. So really, you're just trying to get out of your own way.
Right in the heart of the fairway, green light special. Frank, long gone are the days when you putted with a simple blade. Now you look down and there's a frying pan on the end of the shaft.
Yeah, it looks like grandma's skillet these days. That's what it is. But, you know, putters are like drivers. What they've done with the technology is given you a bigger sweet spot. Even though putting is very, very precise, if you give a person a bigger sweet spot, he's going to make more putts.
Frank, this TPC Stadium course in La Quinta, California has quite a history, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Every style of golf, age group, whether it's someone trying to get their tour card at the tour school, skins games played here from 1986 to 1991, even the PGA Club Professional Championship, they've all come and played here. It's so good to see it on the back on the rotation. But I've got to say, the one thing, and I was there, in 2000, was the PGA Tour Q School. It was won by Stephen Allen, who was an Australian player. But the worst thing I've ever seen on a golf course happened on Alcatraz, 17th hole there. Joe Daly, who was looking like he was going to make his PGA Tour card, had a putt of about 3 feet. And I think he was playing with Craig Perks who went on to win the Players' Championship. Joe Daly hits this putt. It hits the back of the hole, the liner in the hole, and popped out on the front lip. Never saw that before. It was amazing. And as luck would have it, Joe Daly missed his tour card by one shot.
That was as cruel a twist as I have ever seen in golf. Oh, man, you can't miss him from that distance. Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. Putting a good round together now at 4 under. I'd love to get this one. Big putt for birdie. Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. Frank, I love a par 3 where you have to hit one solid golf shot. Anything less, and you might pay a severe price. 255-yard par 3-6. What a hole.
No, you love watching somebody else play a par 3 like that.
You're right. Another good swing, and it looks like, Frank, another really good shot. Well, that's how you play the game right there. Knock it on the green and give yourself a good look at birdie. Well, he pays a price for that.
Yeah, when you don't see the top of the ball in the rough, you know it's not sitting pretty. You're going to need a bit of force to extract one out of there.
Second shot coming out of the rough here.
Really. This is an awkward length.
Frank, this game will drive you crazy.
Yeah, you can do so many things right, and then just something so simple, completely wrong.
Knocked that down for par, remains at 4 under. Good solid par right there. Frank, if you want to play this game at the highest level, and no doubt our players do, you have to sort of be tactical. When you break down shots or break down a hole, how would you break down this hole in a very smart way?
Yeah, I know what you're getting at there. A lot of people would think 350 yards, you could bash a driver down there, you'd finish up in trouble. Well, the way to be aggressive on a strategic hole is to just put the first one in play in a position where you can attack with the second. And there's no shame in that. You can still walk off here more days than often than not with a 3.
quite what he was hoping for. The tee shot in the bunker.
Looking to keep it going here, Frank.
Yeah, another example of things just working as they should.
That should be pretty good right there. On the safe side.
Wow, Frank, he is dialed in.
Yeah, that was just some shot on there. Easy birdie.
All right, in the bunker now. Settles in over the putt.
Oh, how did that miss?
Are you kidding me? I mean, that one was dead center. So a tester from 4 feet. So with that make, now at 7 under par. Gonna move on with a par in his pocket. No problem at all. Good putt, and stays at 4 under par. Now the second par 5 on this opening 9 here at PGA West. Frank, what are we looking at?
The bunker down the right side gives you that optical illusion because it sort of has that curvy edge to it, plus it sort of moves its way to that right side. And then you notice there's a bunker on the left that sneaks in on the left side. So this isn't just sort of blaze away off the tee. It still requires a good straight tee shot. If you do err a little bit, then you've got to be very cognizant of the bunkers up on the left side as you get closer to the green. Tom Weiskopf was one of my idols growing up. I loved the way he swung. That swing right there reminds me of my idol.
It looks like Rory McIlroy, Frank, sticking the follow-through. Nice position, short grass, second shot. Second shot coming up here at the par 5. This is just a superb performance. Great round to this point, Frank, and you can really see that reflected in his mood today.
Yeah, it just looks too easy. Swinging the club beautifully. Ball's going exactly where he wants it to. He's not trying to take too many risks. So consequently, he's getting birdie opportunity after birdie opportunity. This is not heading in the right direction.
Well, it looks like it's going to be in the rough. Well, that was a big, bold strike, and now a chance for a big, bold move. Putt for eagle coming up. Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun.
No putter, no problem. Slams that into the cup. Frank, I'm not saying he should pull out driver here.
Might have a chance.
Getting set now over the putt. With that, moves to 5 under par. Frank, the ninth hole, a par 4 measuring 452 yards. This is no picnic.
This is the toughest tee shot on the front side. The easy way to bail out down the left side, it might appear that way off the tee, but then it becomes a zigzag hole where it's very easy to clock up something like a 6. The bunker down that right side, just 300 yards to get past that, but it's almost like he gives you an option there. If you do want to challenge that right side, the bunker just might save you from going in the water. But there's no question, the best drive is down the right, but it's the most dangerous one.
He makes a great pass at the golf ball. It's powerful, but it's rhythmic at the same time. Frank, the tee shot was certainly challenging, and this second shot is as well.
Yeah, both the tee shot and the second shot require you to come in from that left side. The green itself angles to the right a little bit. The trouble, as we know, is all on the right side. But this is one of those holes. You can see it on the tee and on the second shot. If you ride a 4 down, you're happy.
This won't hurt him. Chance to close out the front side here with a birdie. Player really needs to be dialed in here. This approach shot is not easy by any stretch here at the ninth. Offline, and I think that one's headed for the rough. You have to think he'll be happy with that, given that it looked like it was headed right for the rough.
Yeah, it looked like that was the only place it was going to finish. But, well, it's a little bit unexplainable. Let's see what he does from here now. Lucky break.
That may have been a bit too much to ask for there, that distance putt, Frank.
Yeah, it's fine to be greedy before you hit the putt, but after you've hit it, 2 from that distance is fine.
Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business. How does that not go in?
Amazing. Stroke looked good. Line looked good, just did not take that final break.
Has this putt for birdie. Always like to get to double figures under par. 10 under already. That puts them at 4 under for the round. excellent front side, trying to keep it going here on the second 9.
He's just playing beautifully, hitting so many good shots, giving himself so many opportunities. Can he keep it going? What a great shot.
Nothing wrong with that one. How about 300 yards and in the fairway? Well, this looks good.
Certainly is.
So, sizing up the approach shot here at the par 4 10th, what's a player trying to work out right now with their caddy?
Distance club selection is always the situation here when you have something to carry and something to stay short of.
Well, this one should be safely on deck here. Well, that is an exceptional shot on the green and in position for a birdie.
Yeah, it's a formality now.
This one just requires a little bit of focus. Very well done. Almost made it.
Yeah, there'll be no stress for the next one.
And he's putting for par now. Showing no signs of weakness. That's a good putt right there. Stays at 4 under. Well, in the words of the late, great baseball commentator for the Yankees, Phil Rizzuto, it's time for Holy Cow, Whitey. That's 11 under par. Well, this one has a chance to be really good. He has given this one the full treatment. Perfect release through the ball. And this shot is on the fairway, over 300 yards.
Second shot.
Good lie in the fairway. A good chance to make something happen here. crucial eagle attempt on the way. Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. Missed on that one, Frank.
Yeah, not a problem.
Not a gimme, but well within his range. Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. Continues to amaze. Yet another birdie. And what a day it's been. To the par 4 12th here at PGA West. Short at 363 yards. Like the looks of this one.
Oh, yeah. Long and straight.
That's how you do it. That is tasty looking right there, Frank. Just a perfect spot in the fairway.
That is prime real estate. How do you get a lie like that? Seriously, you could hit any club from that.
So yet another short iron shot into a par 4 here at the 12th.
This looks like it's going to find the target.
Terrific golf shot. And now that for an easy birdie. Ready for his second shot, trying to knock it on the green. Drops for a birdie. Locked in on the read and the speed. So makes the putt. And now at -6. And now we're at the par 3 13th hole, 214 yards. And about 210 yards to the flagstick here on this par 3. This one doesn't look good.
There's water over there.
Just averted danger right there. So close.
Why does he have all the luck? It's that sneaky distance.
Just has the feel today. So a tester from 4 feet. Just playing great. 14 under already. Well, Frank, kind of a make-or-break hole here at the 14th, par 4, 389 yards.
Yeah, for the Cavalier player, you can sort of go at this green in a more direct line. 290 yards will take all this bunker down the right out of play. Just leave you a flick in here. I'm going to say that's not a bad play, really. If you don't do that, then you just got to thread it down the left.
Good spot right there.
Center cut.
Frank couldn't ask for anything more.
Just the lie there, too. It is sitting up like it's teed up.
All right, partner, walk us through this approach shot here at the 14th.
You have to respect the back of the screen as it starts to narrow up. The widest part of the screen is the front. The advantage of that, though, if you do leave it a little bit shorter, you are putting uphill.
Good swing, good shot yet again. That is an excellent play right there. The approach, giving him another good look. Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. Oh, yeah, he's made it for a birdie. Eight under par for the round. Now to the par 4 15th hole, 468 yards. Frank, what do you like about number 15?
The variation of the bunkering here, Rich, I think is excellent. The bunker that meanders its way down the right side tends to go to the right, and then you start to see those two bunkers down the left side. You've really got to try and take that second one on the left out of play. That requires something in excess of 280 yards. From there on in, you've got a chance.
That one is in the fairway, down there about 290 yards.
That's fine.
See what they do now with this second shot at hole number 15. safely aboard. Now the approach here at 15.
There's a big green, and they're going to use every inch of it.
Boy, this could be a tough one right here, Frank.
It's a very long putt, Rich. Obviously, it's difficult, but he still has a shot to sink this one for birdie.
Well, you couldn't ask for much more than that, except to make it. Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business. That has to feel good. That's a birdie. And drops it in. Now to the par 5 16th. Frank, this is a pretty solid hole.
Like all the other par 5s here, length gets a big advantage here. This hole, as you mentioned, bends to the left, and that bunker can be taken out of play by the longest hitters. 326 yards will get you past that. Otherwise, there's sort of a V shoot down the right side that everybody else has to respect.
Good tee shot, right in the short grass. Right out of the center of the bat.
Did you hear that? Second shot.
Second from an excellent lie. Frank, over the course of the last 15 years or so, there have been a number of initiatives within the game of golf just to try to grow the sport.
Yeah, we've seen the PGA Junior League, which is a series of competitions, obviously for juniors to play. But the first tee really is worldwide now, just to try and introduce players from all over the world into the game of golf. They're introduced with club professionals. They learn skills that are essential really to play the game of golf. But in 2014 was a real step, what I think, in the right direction to showcase the junior talent around the world with the drive, chip and putt, where you actually get a chance to play the drive, chip and putt final at Augusta National, the home of the Masters.
Imagine young kids, boys and girls, 8 years old, 11 years old, being able to go home and tell their friends, tell their families, hey, I have something in common with Jack Nicklaus, with Arnold Palmer, with Phil Mickelson, with Tiger Woods. I won at Augusta National Golf Club. Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
Getting set now over the putt. Oh, he looked like Ben Crenshaw right there. That was smooth and easy, right in the heart. You may have lost track at home, but we're keeping count, and that is 9 under for the day. Well, Frank, the most famous island green obviously is TPC Sawgrass, Ponte Vedra Beach, Florida, Pete Dye's creation. People forget this is also an island green here in the California desert.
And it's called Alcatraz, and I've never heard of anyone trying to break into Alcatraz.
Good-looking shot right here. Superb shot.
Well, it's as good as it's going to get. There's going to be no worries about making that one.
This one is definitely heading left. Looks like it is going to end up in the rough. You have to think he'll be happy with that, given that it looked like it was headed right for the rough.
Yeah, it looked like that was the only place it was going to finish, but, well, it's a little bit unexplainable. Let's see what he does from here now. Lucky break.
Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. So they'll tap in. Continues to amaze. Yet another birdie. And what a day it's been. Well, Frank, hopefully the player has arrived here at 18 in a pretty good frame of mind. If not, you have to be thinking, oh, here we go again. Water left. I mean, you could shoot 100 out here on this golf course if you don't have your best stuff.
Yeah, this is another example of, you're right, if you've got the bad mojo going, this is not the hole you want to be playing. Water left, bunkers right. Somewhere in between, though, this fairway.
Pretty good drive here.
Another straight one.
Frank, can you recall a situation where before an important round, an instructor gave you one small tweak, maybe flare your left toe out, or just shift a little bit of the weight onto the back foot, where the instructor gave you that one small bit of advice and it made a huge difference?
Yeah, the list is too long, Rich, and it's normally just someone that you've trusted over the years, and we all make just little bad habits. Sometimes you're stooped over a little bit more than normal. You're not standing tall enough. The ball is too far back in your stance or too far forward. You're making a funny little move or your grip is different. It's always the little things that add up to the big problem.
Appears to be a smart shot, Frank.
Yeah, no problem here. That's going to fly all the way.
These putts keep the round together. Wow, I thought he made that.
Can't birdie them all, Rich.
Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. Well, the great hits just keep coming. Moves to minus 11 on the day. He's putting for par now. Good roll. Solid. That's a par. Frank, a lot to like in this performance today.
Oh, it is. There's so many positives to take out of this round. Not just the possibility to win this week, but going forward. This is great golf that you would hold up against anybody right now.
Presented by EA Sports and the PGA Tour. Frank, one of the things we love about golf, it's an outdoor game, and we share these spectacular views with our friends from Mother Nature.
Yeah, it's absolutely gorgeous out here. Years ago, I played an exhibition match in Calgary with Hale Irwin, which isn't that far away from where we are today. And just the vistas, the magnificent pines, the Douglas firs, the white spruce, the aspens, it's just all there in front of you. This is an idyllic day, too, to play golf.
Banff Springs making a strong first impression with a par 4, generous fairway, and beautiful mountain landscape in the background, Frank.
Yeah, not overly long. A little dogleg to the left. That bunker down the left, you have to hit an absolutely mammoth tee shot to reach that. Good drive's going to set up just a short iron in here.
Like the looks of this one.
Oh, yeah.
Just an ideal lie, Frank. What can he do from here?
Well, if he takes advantage of the tee shot now and goes at this flag, then he'll certainly gain on the field.
Missed that one, and it is going towards the rough. Pretty good result right there, considering...
It looked rough all the way.
Exactly.
Rich, really did.
Frank, now the second shot here at the par 4 opening hole. What are we looking at?
But with a short iron in hand, Rich, I mean, you just go flag hunting straight out of the gate. It's a generous green.
Seems to like it. Headed for the fat part of the green. Wouldn't say he's ecstatic, but not unhappy either.
24 feet. There'll be a lot of players much further away than that on this hole.
Second shot. Good look at the green.
And this will be fine. Just a little left of the flag.
Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. Very well done. Almost made it.
Yeah, there'll be no stress for the next one. Now it's at sneaky distance.
Just has the feel today. So a tester from 4 feet. This would give him a bogey. This is EA Sports PGA Tour coverage coming your way. Well, this golf course goes back a long ways, to 1878, in fact. We're at Royal Troon Golf Club in Scotland. Rich Schroeder alongside Frank Nobilo. And Frank, where are some of the scoring opportunities out here?
Well, normally when the Open Championships played, the breeze comes out of the sort of northwest, which means those first few holes are played down breeze and the closing stretch is played into the breeze. So really you sort of make your hay on the way out and then you hang on for dear life on the way in. That doesn't really change because you have some rather short par fours to start.
Paying attention like a little kid at school, Frank. That baby's sitting up.
Sitting up, it's got the best view as well. You don't even need binoculars from where that ball is.
Oh, this looks good.
Certainly is.
This has really been a challenge all day long with these winds coming from different directions, changing speeds. It's gone from 15 upwards to 25 miles per hour. Really a test for the players. Appears to be what they call a commercial play. Wow, what a shot. Doesn't even need the putter. And he's set up for his second shot here, looking to... Wow, Frank, he is dialed in.
Yeah, that was just some shot on that. Easy birdie.
Locked in on the read and the speed. -1 in the early going. Frank, as we step to the tee here at the par 4 second hole, just 391 yards, but a classic case on links golf where the bunkering here is just so much different than a classic American layout.
And it's also where a change of strategy will certainly help. Remember, the ball's going to run much further here in Scotland than what it will in America. So you can use a shorter club and let that ball to run out to the normal distance you would hit it, perhaps with 2 or 3 clubs more. Oh, that's got to be 300 yards, isn't it?
Good contact, good result. Frank, going back 100 years or more, we used to see winning scores in stroke play tournaments, 72-hole events of
300 thereabouts, but obviously, like so many things in golf, everything has improved.
Yeah, people would scoff at sort of saying 475s would win a US Open or a British Open. It didn't, and it does. But, with equipment and people have really got into the game, they've worked it out, and they just plain got better at it. They realise that, stroke play, you can't just swing from the trees, so to speak. You've really got to work your way around and get better. You just can't sort of settle for mediocrity.
Should be pretty good right there. On the safe side.
It's no snack though.
He'd settle for par here. This one just requires a little bit of focus. 1 under early in the round. Will make birdie if he holds this putt. Frank, this is the kind of start every player wants.
Yeah, swinging it well. Certainly getting the ball in the right place there. And, good thing, too. He's actually putting well.
Not quite what he was hoping for. The tee shot in the bunker. Frank, this one's offline.
There's rough and thick stuff over there.
Frank, better than we thought it was going to be.
Yeah, that looked like it was headed for that thick stuff the whole way, but a little fortunate. But then I guess you're allowed that in this game.
Frank, just a slight miss off the tee. He's in the fairway bunker.
Yeah, just really got to pick the right club once again. Sometimes you take a little bit more club out of the fairway bunker, choke down.
His second shot. So the second of the par 4 goes begging, and now I'll have to rely on the short game.
Yeah, but a short game, as we all know, can redeem a lot of mistakes. See if he does it here. Well, there's a big green, and they're going to use every inch of it.
Oh, can't hide the flagstick from that man. Setting up for an approach shot here. Pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business. Bottom of the barrel, and now the 2 under. Just a couple of feet. Has to feel good at 3 under par in the early going. Here's the first par 5 on the golf course. It's the 4th hole. Frank, how good of a scoring opportunity is this?
Certainly one of the best opportunities on the front side. There's 3 bunkers, but really the one that you focus on is the one on the right. If you can carry that, that's certainly the one to take on, because that ball will kick a lot further down the fairway. And sometimes you can be left with just a mid-iron into this green.
Officials calling that one around 310 yards.
Second shot.
That was a big, bold strike, and now a chance for a big, bold move. Putt for eagle coming up. Frank, I'm not saying he should pull out driver here, but this is a long putt.
Greens are fast, though. You never know. Good line, good pace. Might have a chance.
So a long putt there and just didn't read it quite right. He can make eagle right here.
That was a good run at it, Rich.
You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. I thought that was in.
Yeah, it looked good. I mean, line, pace, it's hard to be critical of that.
Shouldn't be a problem here, but not a formality either. Starting to feel it now, 3 under. Just 5 feet left. Knocks that putt in for par to stay at 3 under. Now to the par 3 fifth. Frank, what are you trying to do here?
Really, anything on this green is going to give you a birdie putt. So allow for the bounce and roll. Just avoid those 3 bunkers on the left and that short one right.
This one has a chance to be close. He's making the game look very simple right now. See it, hit it, and he's got it right on track. Seems to like it. Headed for the fat part of the green. That puts them at 4 under for the round.